Welcome to the Edge Talk Radio Show with your host, Angela Zabel. Are you ready to dive in deep and expand your consciousness? Together, helping you on your journey, answering your questions to understand us, this world, and beyond. Connecting, making our lives better, easier, and more joyful. Come learn with me, relax, be curious, and let's have some fun. Join me today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Edge Talk Radio Show with your host, Angela Zabel. That's me. And I just want to introduce myself a little bit because I am kind of new here. I just started partnering with the Edge magazine and with Edge Talk Radio. So I'm excited. And with that, so you understand who I am a teacher, coach, and a medium. That's something that I have loved doing my whole life. And I've got to say, a lot of people didn't know I did it my whole life. So it has been a little bit of a tricky transition in there. But with that, I'm also somebody who loves to talk to those on the other side. There's so much information coming over from those on the other side. And for us to connect to that is so important. And that's something for me. I'm really looking forward to making this a normal thing for all of us out there. And with that, I'm also, if you want to check me out, I'm on AngelaZabel.com. Check out my website. There's so much there to look into. I'm on a lot of different platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I've got a YouTube channel. I write for Edge Magazine, and now I'm doing hosting. I'm partnering with them and hosting this show. So with that, I hope you get the time to check me out. And then we're going to lead into our first guest today is Kelly Wagner. And who is Kelly? Kelly is the publisher and owner of Edge Magazine. There's a whole bunch of things. So I am going to look at my sheet because she's got a lot. So with that, she's a publisher of Edge Magazine. She does expos and fairs. They just got done doing Art on the Edge in Minneapolis, St. Paul area. She's part of the Being Curious show with Kelly and Brian. It's on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, Sundays from 2 to 3 Central Standard Time. She's part of the School of Higher Consciousness. She just got into the Everyday Women's Network from Australia. So much going on in her life. She's also the owner of You've Got Kelly, which is an intuitive marketing and business coaching. So she's got a lot going on. So it's been fun getting her on here today. And with that, I want to introduce you to Kelly. And Kelly, how you are into so many things. What drew you to where you are now?
Oh my goodness. Well, hello, everybody. I'm so excited that I don't have to be running the show and I get to just be interviewed and let the flow. So thank you, Angela, for this beautiful opportunity. I'm super excited. How did I get into this? Well, I like to juggle knives. So when you were reading all that, I was just like, yes, I am doing that. Yes, I am doing that. And I'm so proud of what we are creating, because it's a we. It's not just a Kelly or Steve or whatever. It's just we. Edge Magazine was up for sale a couple of years ago, just to go really high level. And I'd sold advertising out of college. I'd worked for Best Buy in promotions and events. I've worked in healthcare. I've worked for businesses where we did $1 million trade shows. And I've worked for small businesses where we kind of MacGyvered and brought in garbage cans to trade shows because we didn't want to pay the unions and the people for it, because I get it. So on every single level of different business and strategy. And I can't believe I just admitted that. Okay. Well, yeah, there we go. Okay. But then, like you, I've been very intuitive my whole life, and what I was doing is I was having the corporate gig. I was in sales. I was in marketing, using my intuition all the time. I mean, going to meetings and bringing in the crystal and dimension before you knew it was going to be a hard meeting, and having the crystals and the essential oils and the line out the door of everybody that wanted to get advice from me. And then I just really decided that with the Edge being for sale and the passion that people had for the Edge, it was just aligned. It's just, that's the best way to describe it. How do we go from working a corporate gig to owning the Midwest, like pioneer metaphysical magazine? It's trusting, surrendering, all these things that you're doing, all right, and whatever you're called to. It's funny. I've had people for years say I need my own radio show / YouTube channel because of just the things that happen to me and the people that I meet. So it's like it manifested itself. And then I think people get that we're really authentically, like you and I are working together. I'm like a hummingbird. Like, oh my goodness, trying to get me in just like a room is just impossible. But what's
You're,
lovely about, oh, I'm sorry.
well, I was going to say it's because you're such a busy lady.
Well, thank you. Well, and I'm so glad you and I had a reading because you were like, you were sitting in the reading. And by the way, everybody, Angela and I have shared some time together. And she was a gallery reader at a conference, and I had to get on a waiting list to get 15 minutes with her. And I remember you looking at me and you were like, oh, I get it. And it was so lovely. So okay, I digress. So we're here. We're here today, and we have a great show. And I rambled too long, and I'm
I
super excited.
I am excited to have you on here. And because I know you are reaching so many people, not only here, not only in the Midwest area, but actually all around the world. I would like you to touch just a little bit more on the Everyday Woman Network out of Australia, because I would like to hear a little bit more about that. And I'm sure the listeners would too.
Oh my gosh, you guys, Tony Lontis and team, Everyday Women Network, Tony TV out of Australia. I'm so blessed. They asked me to be on their board of directors and advisory committee, and we're the ones from the US. So look, you guys, oh my gosh. And it's about empowering women. It's about empowering souls and having this clean messaging through the media. And it's so heartfelt. It's launching so soon, and I'm so excited. There's going to be a lot more information. I actually think that you should interview Tony. I think that would be a really good one, and I'll set that up for you. But it's just so much more to come. We're just so we were thinking of buying it, and you dial in. They said that you're going to just take this little magazine and you're going to blow it up, and it's going to be international, and we're bringing people in, and it's just so cool to manifest things and have them happen. It's almost like the weather. Did you see like the energy of the weather kind of coming in and my lighting? Okay, Angela, who's coming
Absolutely.
in? Angela, who's coming in? What's going on? Come on, let's
Your
do a quick
your
check-in.
whole lighting is changing behind you. I
I
mean, the
know.
whole thing. And I'm glad I have this on. It's being recorded also, which I'm thinking we're going to be uploading this to YouTube too, because it is changing behind you. It is so awesome to see. I
Okay,
love
come
it.
on, who's in? Who's in? What's going on? Tell me. I'm not turning my what's going on?
You've got a lot of guides, a lot of helpers coming into you right now, but this is, like usually there's like one or two main people that come in. Instead, for you have a whole team coming in that's just coming in. They're like, yeah, we're ready to roll, we're ready to rock and roll, let's go, let's move this, and this really feels like moving the energy. And for me, and I know for you too, Kelly, is to make all of what we do normal and to bring that intuitiveness out into the public and making it like, this is who we are. This is what we should be using every day. That's what your team is just like, yes, let's go. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see where you're taking it, because I know they're sometimes gentle nudging you, and sometimes it feels like they're showing me pictures of like shoving you off the dock. Like, let's go and jump in and let's have some fun. And that's what I see for you, is like, just like, let's go, let's move. And I also feel for you, it's the not worrying about who is there or what I have to worry about. Can I succeed in what I'm doing? They're saying, and not feeling alone in whatever you are doing coming forward, because they are supporting you. You're not doing it alone. And it's funny, the lighting changed now. They're like, you got it. You got
Yeah.
it. You're not doing this alone. You have such a huge team. I love the
Well,
worldwide team, because I'm just they show me pictures, they show me different things. And for me, they're giving me this sense that you have a lot of people that understand different languages, because you're going to be going to so many and reaching so many different countries. So you have a lot of people on the other side that are coming in that can help you understand the nuances of the language and the body language of people when you're in and dealing with people in other countries. So that's pretty exciting.
I love this. I love this. We're doing this spontaneous reading right here. This is what this new talk show is going to be about. Like, look at this. I love it. Okay, tell everybody about our serendipity shirt selection today, Angela.
Yeah, so it was really funny because neither of us, we didn't talk beforehand. We're not doing the little texting thing. But for me, I love green and I have this pretty green shirt on today. And Kelly, what color is your shirt today?
I have the same color green on. And by the way, I wear black. So my closet is, because everything's black, I label everything like long sleeve black or long sleeve shirts, short sleeve shirts, like right this. And I went to my closet and this was in the back. And I was like, I'm putting this on today. And it happened to be the same exact color that Angela has on. Just saying.
There's no, synchronicities. They talk about synchronicities, intuition, trusting your gut. That's life. And when you do that, it creates so much more fun and joy in your life. And that's one thing I want to ask you about is when I was reading, I investigate my guests. I got to check them out.
Oh my gosh, hold on, let me breathe through that.
Yeah. So as I was reading through, I just want to read a little bit. It says, when you do your intuitive counseling, marketing, and your business coaching, it says, Kelly, she dials in to see an illuminated yellow brick road that shows Kelly the path to her clients that are, sorry about that, shows Kelly the path her clients should follow to fulfill their goals and live their optimal life. So I'm really curious, and your lighting just changed behind you.
I know. I'm just going
And
with it.
I'm really curious about when you talk about the yellow brick road, when did that start for you? And was it something you put an intention out there? How did that start? And how did it start just for you? And then you started using it for clients? So fill me in, let me know.
Oh my gosh, I never even thought about it. Okay, that's awesome. Now I'm glowing. Oh
I know
gosh,
you are.
It's gonna be like, you guys, it's sunny outside. It's like, okay, we're just going with it. So you know how some people get with their senses, they can smell things, they can see things, they can taste things, they feel things in their body. When I'm working with clients, if they're asking, a lot of it is like asking when they want direction or insight on a life event. So I don't use my yellow brick road when I'm working with souls that have crossed over. In the mediumship, this is more of the dialing into the client's needs, requests. So if I see my yellow brick road, and it's interesting, so I see it, it's just like the yellow brick road, the Wizard of Oz, and how it kind of meanders on, and I can see the vibrancy of it. So if it is kind of a, oh my gosh, like this,
Yes.
and it's really straight, then I know what the client's asking and what they're looking for insight on is right on. But then sometimes it'll be really dim. Oh my gosh, as a light, we're gonna do a show just on lighting.
I was gonna say,
I can't make this up. Like this is amazing. Okay, like this is like you can't. Okay, and then if I see off ramps, so I'll see like little, like on a highway, how you have the little off ramps, and then I can go find an off ramp, and then I can go down to the off ramp, and then we can find out what that has to happen, because sometimes you have to go on that little side journey to be able to learn something, so then they can get back onto back on the yellow brick road. It's just this weird tool that I use that just, it's how messages come to me, and I found it really really spot on.
One of the things you just said is it's a weird tool to you. So for me, that's like, it's a great thing to for helping people understand, a unique tool to everyone. Go with what your gut says, go with what works for you. That's so important, I think, for all of us to understand that part of it. And another part of that is understanding that that's part of us. We're all unique, we're all different. And then there's another part I wanted to ask you about when we're talking about unique and different. You also you knew Cathryn Taylor personally. You knew her, you met her. And this is kind of where this show started a little bit, Cathryn started this show. She started the Edge Talk Radio. I think it was 1996, if I have my numbers correct here. And she also started the Inner Child. She does the workbook. It's still on Amazon. You can go out and check it out. A lot of great work on the Inner Child. Also with the let's see if I get that right, ETF. Tapping. Yes, with the tapping. And this is something that everybody should really look at. There's so many different modalities and so many different ways to help us through this life. Cathryn was a big part of that. And since you really met her personally, is there anything you'd like to say about Cathryn?
Well, we better call her in because she's
here already.
Yeah, I know. I was like, we better be polite, but no, she's like, girls, she's like, ladies here. You know what, Cathryn? She was one of the first people when we took over the Edge that called me up and said, let's go for a walk. And was just, she said, Kelly, I'll be honest with you. I've done this. I don't want to be a part of the Edge anymore. It's run its course. I don't want to, I have no interest. And at the end I said, fine, but let's still walk. And by the end, she's like, I want to write again. I want to be a part of the Edge. I totally see what you guys are doing. I totally am dialing in with your energy. Let's get Edge Shock Radio cranking again. I mean, so she really went from this, thank you, but no thank you, but I'll, out of respect for the Edge, meet with you, to, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And then she brought me to Orapalooza, which is Echo Bodine, this beautiful community. And she just marched me up and down the aisles and said, this is Kelly Wagner, and she's the new publisher of Edge Magazine, and you need to know her. And I'm just like such an ambassador. She also wrote this book, I Think I Like You Better Dead, which I think is one of the coolest titles ever for a book. And you know what? It made me start to think, I think there's people in our lives that we will like better dead, but I'm not going to admit that, right? Okay, so we're going to just like go there with it. This is a great book that she wrote about her relationship with her brother after he had transitioned. It's funny, she's tapping you on the shoulder and she wants to say something. What does she want to say, Angela?
So for her, she's just really, really excited. So for those of you who don't know, I mean, Kelly and I both do mediumship. We both tap into those on the other side. And I've got to say, when Cathryn passed, it was so quick, like right away, that both of us were getting information from her. And it was like, she's so excited to see where everything's going. And she's so excited to see that I keep feeling from her that her information, her books, her everything she's done is actually going to be more known now that she's dead. And I know that sounds a little odd, but that's what I keep feeling from her. She's so excited because it's feeling like she's going to get more momentum behind her on what she did and how she really pioneered a different area. I keep hearing from her, I pioneered a different area. And she's really fun. She's so full of energy. It's just like, woo-hoo-hoo. But
and think how good she feels now, right? So at the end, her body just was not serving her the way, I mean, she was starting to get a little bit older, and when our bodies just, they're not giving back to us what we'd hoped, right? And I mean, when she was coming through to me at first, she's like, Kelly, they rolled out the red carpet for me. I mean, like, Cathryn showing up, like, and I kept going, oh gosh, am I right? And I just kept seeing she was on the red carpet, and they were like, everyone was like, oh my gosh, she's here, and just so excited to see her. And I think she left enough back. And I know she was in the process. She had everything organized for a lot of new programs. Like you said, this gaining momentum. She had everything pretty much locked down to be able to really take her information to another level. And because she had everything recorded and documented, we're going to be able to reap the benefits of all her hard work, even though she's not on the earth plane anymore.
And I think that's another really big thing that people don't realize is our lives always continue after we passed, always, in some way, shape, manner, or form. And for her, she's going to continue. Her knowledge and her information she had out there is going to continue in different ways, because there's going to be a whole different set of people tapping into her information. So she's excited about that. And like some people, I always get are they sad when they leave? And I don't feel that with her.
No. No, I think what I get, well, so she's with John, she's with Avery, her dog, her beloved dog. I get that. And I think that Avery's been waiting for her for a while. What I really feel, and this is what I get, please let me know what you think. I think that she's going to miss that physical presence of being with her love, Arthur, and that special intimate time. And I'm not saying, like, I'm talking about the holding hands, I'm talking about the smell, I'm talking about coming out of a shower, I'm talking about cuddling, I'm talking about some of those human sensories and those senses. I think that's what she's going to miss the most out of it.
And that's really what I get, because she just went like this, just the big hugs, the hugs between, that's the thing that it's that physical aspect, because our souls, our lives go on, but the physical part, that's the part that changes. And that is the only thing, that's the only thing I get from her that she's going to be missing. That's the only thing, is that physical interaction between that and the other people. So I feel like she's made such great lifelong friendships here. And it's that intimate getting together, having a cup and getting it together and doing that. That's the thing that I see, that it's that physical part, but the rest of it, she's like, but I'm sitting right next to him, so it doesn't matter, but I want them to know I'm there. And I keep hearing like, have a cup for me, so
Raising my
awesome.
glass, lady. My Hawaiian glass. So it's like a double little, yeah, raise the glass.
You have a
Cathryn.
Hawaiian glass?
This is from Kapalua, Maui, where my husband and I were married.
Nice.
I know.
It's funny because I have
And you have your lei. Like
from
we
Hawaii.
have a little Hawaii vibe today too.
And the little green one is a little guy from Hawaii too.
Okay. Green Hawaii. Look at how we're getting the send-offs for the show today.
We're putting this all together right now. So that's really how this all started, is Cathryn really wanted to play a part of it, and we just kind of let that go. And then but it kept feeling like there was more to it. And then after she passed, it was like, I mean, I had her, you and I both had her coming in like, let's keep this going, let's go, let's move this forward. And so then we're partnering together with the Edge. So that's where we're here. That's why we're here.
So what are the kind of things that you want to talk about on your show? Because I know that with your gifts and abilities and with the people that you connect with, you are just amazing. And I love, not everybody can just do a quick little, like, as you're flowing and going, right? And I just love that you're able to just do that. I just think that the show could go in so many different directions.
And, for me to take this show, I like to get into subjects and I like to get in deep. A lot of people, I feel, kind of touch the surface on things. And for me, I like to dive in deep, and everybody dies in all different ways. I like to touch on, honestly, there's suicide, there's overdoses, there's, cancers, there's, sometimes we call it horrific accidents, but there's so many different ways. But I'd like to dive in deep on what they are experiencing and what they have told me on all these different experiences. And then also, like, who are we? How are we connected? How can we connect to everything out there? Because let's be honest, there's us here, there's those that passed, and there's so many different realms. You talk about all the angelic realms, and I like to call them the star nations, which are ones from all different universes. There's the nature spirits. There's so much out there. And then there's just so much understanding who we are, who we are as a person, and how we can connect and get this information. Because honestly, you can't connect, you can't get these little tidbits of information, and all of you do it. All the people out there, their intuition is on fire right now. And learning how to use that intuition to help people move forward, help your life go easier. I mean, think of it. We have people that pass that were such supportive people here, but a lot of people forget after they pass, they're still supportive, helping us, like, hey, look at doing this, check out this, go over here. And they're sending messages all the time to make this normal. That's my huge goal. And to have people talk openly about it, because I'm going to be honest here, I'm not a sugarcoater. And when you look at all the people, when you talk about people that have abuses in their family, some are sexual, some are, alcohol, some are, with drugs or whatever, all those different types of abuses, they can never be healed and never be brought out to the surface. And people can't really understand them if it's not talked about. So for me, it's bringing everything out in the open, and let's talk openly about everything out there, and let's not leave things on the table. Let's really look at them. And I know for you, Kelly, you're checking into things all around in the Midwest, in the US, in other countries, and it's getting that information out there and not being afraid to talk about the subjects I think people have pushed down before. What's your thought on that?
Oh, I totally get it. Like, I was even thinking as you were talking about, souls coming in and to carnate, to be present. Like, why would you spend the time and energy to be a baby that is born as a stillborn, right? As a soul, like go through all of that. And then, but maybe that's all I needed. And we know there was an agreement with the mother and the father, right? So, I mean, that's a hard one to talk about. Why would anyone sign up to be one of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims? Like, why would you be like, oh yeah, I want to do that this life. I'm gonna have this great life and then someone's gonna eat me. Like, but there's different learnings. And what I really feel that you're gonna be just brilliant at is just in a really soft, beautiful way. Because yes, you're not afraid to be like this, but you do it in this comfortable way because you really create safe space for people. So to be like, okay, you're the soul made this choice. Okay, so let's unpack this. Let's unpack this in a different way than society normally does. Let's look at it this way and up. And I can see you just taking people. Okay, a story's coming in. That's what I've got to share. A client of mine, brother, committed suicide and hung himself, and the spouse never told the family. Wrote heart attack on the death certificate, and it was 7 years later that they started to find out really what happened. And I asked her, I was like, have you ever had a hard time boating or around ropes or knots or anything like that? And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm like definitely scared of them. I'm like,
And that's the thing. It's bringing those hard subjects out, at least what
yeah.
a lot of people consider hard, but it's bringing it out in the open. I mean, I've done different things where there was readings I've done and a family had a disconnect and they were actually disconnected for over 50 years. It was a big disconnect, but the information that came through from the one that passed helped heal that divide. And the family actually got together within a month. The family, after 50 years, got together and talked. That's huge, huge. And the thing is, we have to realize when we're talking with those on the other side and dealing with all this, you're not only helping the people heal here, because we honestly don't heal anybody. We offer the space. We offer the space for them to go into resonance with it or not. It's totally up to them. But if they choose to, they can choose to help heal themselves, but also the people on the other side, they like to help fix things and put things back together, and they're healing too in that sense. So it's both sides. It's not a one-sided aspect here. And that's something I think a lot of people don't realize. And I think it's so important for people to know, because the more you do this work, the more you help not only yourself, not only those that passed, but the world as a whole. And that's something you're offering, a vibration, a frequency to the world that I think is worth more than gold at this point.
Oh, thank you. And if you think about it, by helping yourself, you're helping your ancestors, like you said, those are the past, but you're also helping your children and your children's children. And right, so we're breaking habits and we're breaking patterns that might have just been this ancestral rut that they were in. And I truly believe whoever is on earth right now is here to do a lot of this. I just see this machete coming down. We're like stopping these. We're pivoting. We're like, do we have to do this? Is this right? Is there a new way of thinking, a new way of approaching it, normalizing things that are quote in the fringe and utilizing the tools? It's just beautiful. This is just, I know there's a lot of craziness in the world, but I believe this is a time of growth and opportunity.
I fully agree with you there. It is a time of growth and opportunity. And, you know, for people to understand, we came in with a lot of stuff that we dealt with. But the children being born now have a lot different energy, so different. And for us, the parents and grandparents or aunts, uncles, or friends, to understand how they operate, because they're going to operate so much differently. So for us to gain knowledge is going to help everyone, especially them, navigate this new world, because we are creating a brand new world. And I'm so excited for all of this, for all of us going forward. And I'm excited for what we're going to experience going forward. It's all going to be there to help us understand who we are. And for you, what advice would you give to anybody, or what do you think about the timeline going forward? Are you fearful of it? What would you recommend to people, or what is your thoughts on it?
I think everyone just needs to stop being fearful. I think there's a lot of being fearful that is being just kind of piped to people. So, empower yourself, educate yourself, and let's just stop being fearful. Um, get connected, find your tribe. And I don't say this in a negative way, but find the people that make you feel good and believe in you, right? Speak your truth. Don't do it at others, um, I'm seeing pictures now, and the words are the English is starting to go away. I mean, don't speak your truth at the sacrifice of somebody else, but just speak your truth. And I also think that people have been dreaming, and they're like, oh, I just wish I could do this. I wish I could do this. Well, stop wishing and manifesting it. You and I get to live. We're both very, very busy. We have a lot on our plate. We have a lot of people that rely on us and work with us, but we are in service, and we are honored to be in service and honored to have all of our gifts and abilities. And there's a lot of responsibility with that. And that's the thing is, I know that you and I we're up for the responsibility. And we know there's a lot on us to be ambassadors, to be bright lights, to speak the truth. And, have courageous conversations with people. And I think that's something that your show is going to really bring is, to talk to someone and have a courageous conversation of things that not everybody wants to talk about. But if we bring it up and we start talking about it, and then people start going, oh, then all of a sudden it just comes up, and it's just lighter and moves faster, if that makes any weird sense.
It's funny because the light behind you started glowing when you were talking. And then they also kind of gave me they give me little messages and things. And they talked about when the first person broke that mile marker, when you're all the different athletes, there was this benchmark, the world records, they can only get so far. But once it was broken, how then everybody started breaking it and setting new records, and it became the norm. That's where we're at with all of this, talking about everything that's out there. Once we start breaking those thresholds, it's the norm, and we can talk openly, and it's not going to be this thing where we try to keep in the closet anymore. So that's the exciting thing for me is let's get this out. Let's break those barriers and let's move forward. So with that, I am so excited to be partnering with the Edge Magazine and Edge Talk Radio. This has been just a journey. And it's funny, before all this took place, I was actually been putting intentions out there. And Kelly, I love the idea, intention. Put the intention what you want. I kept putting the intention. I really want to do some radio show. I want to get it out there, but I really don't know where to start, and I don't know how to get out there. And then everything synchronistically happened. And it's trusting in yourself, trusting your intuition. So I love that part of it, Kelly. Absolutely love it. I think you did some great advice for everybody. Is there any last words before we go out, Kelly, from you?
No, you know what, you guys, this is gonna be a great show. Angela, anything's possible with Angela. I think you're gonna go on lots of adventures together. I'd love to be able to pop on once in a while and just say hey and share what's going on. And I trust you. I'm excited to partner with you. And this is just the beginning.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kelly. And I am so excited to be here. And I can't wait to see where we go together, because this really is a partnership, and seeing where we can take it from there. And with that, I just want to let everybody know I'm going to have some links down below after this, and you'll be able to tap into some of that. And also, if anybody has ideas, things they want to talk about, things you'd love to have brought up, send me that information, send it over so we can do a show for you, because this is a show for all of you. This isn't just Kelly and I's show. This is for all of you, and we want to get the information you're looking for. So put that information in there, and we look forward to working with you in the future. And I wish all of you an absolutely amazing day.